You find that kind of Bluetooth amplifiers on the web for 10 to 15 euros. This one is a 2 times 50 watt with integrated Bluetooth, and you can connect speakers, usually 8 ohm speakers right here, and then you can provide DC. There's a DC connector, and it takes between 10 to 25 volt input, and it's you've got some buttons to control. And I decided to use a DC, AC/DC power supply coming from a laptop, and usually they fit with the connector, and the range of voltage is usually 19.6 volt with 4 or 5 amp, which is more than enough. The one I use is the one that takes 16 volt, a bit old, and 1.8 amp, which is also enough. And to provide some style, I decided to use an old vintage cassette recorder I was given, because people know I like to repair stuff, so they gave me the old electronics, and this one was beyond repair, so I decided to use it as a box to put the little amplifier inside and just clean all the inside. As I say, it was beyond repair, and I did it for the trash, so sorry for the guys who are more into vintage repair. I decided to just cut everything and peu à peu made some space, removing stuff, and finally ended cutting all the inside with a Dremel, just to have the more space and to be able to fit in the amplifier plus the laptop power supply, so that just the power cord that coming on the inside. And I try to use the little trap of the cassette player to have access to the buttons on the board, because it can be fun. So just show you what it's like. So this is just an old something that was beyond repair, as I said. And I ended emptying all that, cutting the plastic, and just put it to the bare bone of a bare box, and providing some space, as I said, the maximum space I could find, to make a Bluetooth amplifier that I could connect any kind of speakers. So, as I said, this is the little amplifier, and I made that accessible through the door, so you can access the button if you want. You don't need to, because obviously you can just control everything from the phone. And I took that from for speakers connection, something that I desoldered for another old equipment that was also going to the trash. And when I do that, I just check also for components I can reuse. And to help the positioning, I decided just to solder some wires. Again, this is reuse. I use some connectors from old PSU power supply unit from old PCs, and they got good wires. So I just cut them and use them for my projects. Cut some wires and just solder them. So that's what I did here for the speakers connector, so that I can move freely around, because I wasn't sure where I would put everything. So I just wanted to have the freedom to move the speakers connector and connect them to the board. So to make that clean, I just soldered that and put some heat shrink so that it would be clean. So that's just what we're doing here, just soldering and putting some heat shrink. Not something not exceptional, but I think it's does that cleanly. And then I had to connect that to the speakers. I would say it's not very difficult, but Just have to connect that, and the mechanical part starts is where I could put that. So I decided to put that on the rear using a Dremel, and just cut those little this little space here that was rather easy to cut, and that allowed me to make something that was clean enough so that it doesn't look too bad when it's glued. And I glued that in the end with some kind of reinforcement, allowing for it to open, because when you push, you want the thing to really stick. So I just made some little cuts in the plastic here where the wires are, so that it could hold where I would press, and add something in behind, and I was rather heavy on the glue. Then I put an on switch on the side to allow for starting and stopping the device, because, as I say, the power supply is going to be inside, and I just want to have a power cord going out. You see the power supply being inside here, and then it's done. You can just connect any kind of speaker. So you have two big speakers, and the sound is really good, and it's really nice. You can connect to Bluetooth with your phone. And I like the look, vintage look. Tell me what you like in the comments, and thank you for watching. Bye bye. Oh, didn't put the music because copyright issues.